Hello everyone, welcome to another tutorial. In today's video, we are going to learn how to install Ubuntu operating system on VirtualBox. Okay, so first of all, you need to install Oracle VirtualBox if you haven't installed it on your Windows computer already. So I have already got VirtualBox installed on my device, but if you want to install Oracle VirtualBox, you can go to your web browser and start typing the word VirtualBox and hit enter. You will see the official URL in the search results, Oracle VirtualBox. The URL is www.virtualbox.org. So click on the downloads link, and from here you will be able to download VirtualBox depending on your operating system. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I run a Windows device, so I've gone ahead and download the Windows hosts. Once you click on the URL, it will download the file to your downloads folder or wherever your downloads go to. And from there, just double click on the setup file and then install the program before proceeding with the rest of the tutorial. If you have already got VirtualBox, let's go ahead and see how to install Ubuntu operating system. Open your web browser and go to ubuntu.com. This is the official website of Ubuntu. Click on Download Ubuntu and download Ubuntu Desktop. In here, you will be presented with the latest LTS version of Ubuntu. Currently, it is 24.04.2. LTS stands for long-term support, which means you get 5 years of free security and maintenance updates. You can extend that up to 12 years with Ubuntu Pro. You can click on this link to learn more about Ubuntu Pro if you wish to do so. If you scroll down to the bottom of the page, you will see that there's another version at this stage called Ubuntu 25.04. This is the latest version of Ubuntu, but this only comes with 9 months of security and maintenance updates. So depending on your requirements, you may decide to go with the latest option, but in this tutorial, I'm going to install the LTS version. Now, if you click under System Requirements, you will see the minimum requirements that you need to install Ubuntu on a machine. Now, for this tutorial, we will be using a virtual machine built on VirtualBox platform to install Ubuntu. And the next thing to do is to download the ISO. So I'm going to click download button and the download should start automatically. If you wish to sign up for their newsletter, you're welcome to do so in here, but it is not mandatory. As you can see, the download has already started. It's about 6 gigabytes and it'll take a few minutes depending on how fast your internet connection is. So I'm going to let this run behind the scenes and be back once we are ready to go. Ubuntu ISO file has been downloaded successfully. Let's go ahead and create our virtual machine and install Ubuntu. I'm going to double click on Oracle VirtualBox icon to open VirtualBox. In here, go to Machine and click on New. You need to give your virtual machine a name. I'm going to call mine Ubuntu-VM1. And this is the folder where your virtual machine files will be located, specifically the .vdi file, which is your virtual hard disk file. Click Finish and right click on the virtual machine that you just created and go to Settings. In here, you can customize the specifications of your virtual machine. I'm going to give my virtual machine a little bit more memory. So let's go with 4 gigs of memory and click on Storage. Now this blue color CD icon, this is where you need to mount the ISO file that we just downloaded from Ubuntu website. So click on the blue CD icon again and click on Choose a disk file. Go to the location where your ISO file that you downloaded is stored and select the ISO file from there. In my case, I've got the ISO file in my most recently opened ISO file, so I'm going to select it from there. And if I click on this Ubuntu-VM1.vdi, this is my virtual hard disk file. And I've got 25 gigs, which is perfect. That's the minimum required amount of hard disk space for installation of Ubuntu, so I'm not going to make any changes there. Everything else looks okay to me, so I'm going to click OK. And I'm going to go ahead and click Start to start the virtual machine for the first time. Let me expand the window. Now this is the stage where you will be given three choices. So obviously for us, the first choice is the one to go with, try or install Ubuntu. So I'm going to click or press enter. This stage will take a couple of minutes, so we need to be patient. When you get to this stage, you have two choices. If you would like to simply learn how Ubuntu works without installing it, you can simply close off this window, this white color window, and then proceed to use Ubuntu and get a feel for it. But in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to actually install Ubuntu as well. So let me just click on this window here and then select install Ubuntu. But as I mentioned earlier, if you don't want to install Ubuntu and just want to try the operating system, you can close this and then just use some of the features and click on some of the icons that you have and get a feel for it. So anyway, we're going to proceed with installation. So let's go ahead and click install Ubuntu. Now the language is default to English. If you want to change the language, you can do it here. I'm going to click next. I do not need to customize any accessibility options, but you're welcome to do so if you want to do that here. Click next. And the keyboard by default will be English US. I'm going to leave it as per the default setting. Now it's recommended that you connect the device, the virtual machine, to the internet during this setup. So if there are any updates, you can get them before you actually start using the virtual machine. So I'm going to go ahead and click next. Now it has identified that there are updates that we can use to update this virtual machine to the latest Ubuntu operating system. I'm not going to do it in this tutorial, but if you're doing this, I highly recommend that you click update now and run the updates, and it'll be better, it'll be more stable, it'll be more secure, and you will probably get more features as well depending on the update. But for this tutorial, I'm going to skip this step and I'm going to install Ubuntu. Click next. I'm going to go with the interactive installation. Click next. I'm going to go with the default selection. This is going to install just the bare minimum that you need to function. But if you want a selection of recommended tools and utilities and other applications, you can go with extended selection as well. I'm just going to go back to default and go next. And in here, it is recommended that you tick both these options to install recommended proprietary software and any third-party drivers that you will need for a smoother experience when you're using Ubuntu. So make sure that you tick these two checkboxes and click next. And in here you have two options. I'm just going to leave the default erase disk and install Ubuntu. This is a virtual machine and I do not have anything on it. It's brand new, so for me it doesn't matter which option I select. But if you're trying to install Ubuntu on a device that's already got an operating system, you can go with the manual installation and customize it according to your needs. We go next. In here you need to create an account that will be used to log into this virtual machine that is running Ubuntu. I'm going to call it admin123, and password, make sure you give it a complex password. So once you have entered your password, you can go and click next. And in here, you can select your location and your time zone. It's going to automatically select it for you if you've got an active connection to the internet during this setup. So it has automatically selected my location and time zone for me. I'm going to go next. And this is the final step where you will be able to review all your choices that you selected during this process. I'm happy with everything, so I'm going to go ahead and click install. Now this is going to go ahead and install Ubuntu on your virtual machine, and after this process is finished, you will be able to start using Ubuntu. Guys, that's it for this tutorial. I hope you learned something new. If you did, please make sure to subscribe to my channel. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Until then, take care and have a good day. Bye bye.